Alright guys, here's your Unit 6 test review. So let's get started. It says solve the following inequalities and give the solution in set notation and show the solution graph. Okay, so number one, we need to solve for x. So the first thing we want to do is we want to get the 4x by itself. So minus 3 cancels that, minus 3. So 4x is less than, negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4. Divide both sides by 4. So x is less than negative 1. Okay. Then it says graph it. So basically x is less than negative 1. Here's 0. Here's negative 1. You're going to put an open dot at 1. And since x is less than that, you're going to shade everything to this direction. Okay. Now I'm not going to graph all of them, just for time's sake. But that's how you would graph that. Alright, number 2. 2x is less than 7x minus 36. So minus 7x cancels that. Minus 7x. So negative 5x is less than negative 36. Divide negative 5. Divide negative 5. So x is greater than, because we divided a negative across the sign, 36 over 5, which is almost 7. It's like 6.8, I believe. Alright, number 3. 5x is greater than 8x plus 27. So subtract the 8x, let's bring that across. So negative 3x is greater than 27. Divide negative 3. Divide negative 3. So x is less than negative 9. 27 divided by negative 3, negative 9. Alright, so now for number 4, we're going to add the x to both sides. So we're going to have 5 is less than 9 plus 2x minus 9 minus 9. Negative 4 is less than 2x. Divide 2. Divide 2. So negative 2 is less than x. Oops. Alright, so I'm circling all my answers. Alright, so there's those 4. Now, for number 5, what you want to do first is distribute the 2 through the parentheses. So we're going to have 4 minus 6x is less than or equal to 4x plus 6. Okay? Now, add 6x, add 6x, minus 6, minus 6, so 4 minus 6 is negative 2, less than or equal to 10x, divide 10, divide 10, so negative 1/5 is less than or equal to x. Alright, of course you'd graph those, but like I said, for time's sake, I'm not going to. Alright, so there's the first 5. Moving right along. It says write the compound inequalities represented by the following graphs. Alright, if you shade between them, okay, if you shade between them, that means you're going to have a double inequality like this. Okay, since this is a solid dot, this side is going to have an equal bar underneath. Since this is an open dot, this one will not. Now, since this starts at negative 40, it's going to be negative 40 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 60. This one's going to have an or in the middle. Okay, you can say x is less than, because all these values are less than, negative 2, or x is greater than, because all these values are greater than 5. Okay? Now for 8 and 9, alright, they're what's called a double inequality. Okay, they're what's called a double inequality. And number 10. So what you have to do is you have to solve 2 inequalities to figure this out. What you do is you divide it at this inequality and you say negative 5 is less than or equal to x minus 4. Then you divided this inequality. X minus 4 is less than or equal to 13. And you solve both of these. So plus 4, plus 4. Negative 1 is less than or equal to x. Plus 4, plus 4. So that is x is less than or equal to 17. So less than or equal to 17. That is your answer. Okay, that's your answer. So do the same thing here. We have 3/4. It is less than or equal to 2x plus 9. And we have 2x plus 9 is less than or equal to 3/2. Okay, minus 9, minus 9, minus 9, minus 9. So 9 over 4, that would go to 36 over 4. So it would be 3/4 minus 36 over 4, which would be a negative 33 over 4. Okay, so negative 33 over 4 is less than or equal to 2x. Divided by 2. Divided by 2 is the same thing as multiplying by 1/2. Okay, so x is greater than or equal to x negative 33 over 8. Now do the same thing over here. This would be 9 is 18 over 2. Alright, so 3 minus 18 is negative 15. So 2x is less than or equal to negative 15 over 2. Divided by 2. Dividing by 2 is, like, again, same thing, multiplying by 1/2. So this would be less than or equal to negative 15 over 4. Let me make that x look a little better. So this is the answer to number 9. Looks weird, but that's the answer. Okay. Now number 10, we have two different ones that we're going to have to solve. So you just solve them as you normally would. Plus 7, plus 7. So 2x is less than or equal to, was that 4? Divide both sides by 2. So x is less than or equal to 2. Or plus 3, plus 3. 2x is greater than 11 plus 3 is 14. Divide 2. Divide 2. X is greater than 7. So x is less than or equal to 2 or greater than 7. Alright, moving along. Darn it. Alright, solve the absolute value equations and interpret the results by graphing. Alright, now when you solve absolute value equations, what you have to do is you have to make two. Because this absolute value of x minus 5 equals 10, well, it could also equal negative 10. So you're going to have to solve x minus 5 equals 10 and x minus 5 equals negative 10. Okay? Plus 5, plus 5. So x equals 15 and plus 5, plus 5. X equals negative 5. Okay? So those are your two solutions for number 11. Okay, I would graph it, but it's just 2 points on a number line, so I'm not going to. All right, number 12, x plus 2 equals 6. So, why is this thing being stupid? All right, so you're going to do x plus 2 equals negative 6, and x plus 2 equals 6, minus 2, minus 2. So x equals negative 8, minus 2, minus 2. X equals negative 8 or 4. Okay, same thing here. 5x minus 2 equals 3. 5x minus 2 equals negative 3. Plus 2 plus 2. So x equals 1, or plus 2 plus 2. 5x equals, that's supposed to say plus 2, negative 1, divide 5, divide 5. So x equals 1 or negative 1/5. Okay, same thing here. 4x minus 1 equals 19. 4x minus 1 equals negative 19. Plus 1 plus 1. So, and then divide both sides by 4, so x equals 5, because that's 20 divided by 4 is 5. Plus 1 plus 1. 4x equals 18, negative 18. Divide 4, divide 4. So x equals, let's see, take a 2 out, negative 9/2. Okay, so there's those. And yes, you can leave the fractions. You don't have to. You don't have to change them to decimals. Just make sure you reduce them. Okay, like the negative 18 over 4. Make sure you leave it as negative 9 over 2. But other than that, you don't have to change it to a decimal. All right, let's look at 15. This one I am going to graph. All right, y equals the absolute value of x plus 3. Okay, so basically what this means is this is a horizontal shift to the left 3 spaces. So this would look like 1, 2, 3. You'd have a slope of 1 going up this way, and you'd have a slope of 1 going up that way. Okay, all you have to do is plug some x values in and get your y values. Okay, so you can just make a table, an x and a y. Alright, so if you plug in x equals 0, you get 3. If you plug in 1, you get 4. If you plug in negative 1, you get 2. If you plug in negative 2, you get 1. And if you plug in negative 3, you get 0. Okay, and then you can just plug in more. So for that one, you just straight up make a table to graph that. Okay. All right, now for this one, you can do the same thing as before. 7x is less than or equal to 21. 7x is greater than or equal to negative 21. Make sure you flip the sign when you make this a negative number here, okay? Divide 7, divide 7. X is greater than or equal to 3. Divide 7, divide 7. X is less than or equal to negative 3. All right, so they're solved the same way as an equation, as if this was an equal sign. The only thing is when you do the negative version, you have to flip the inequality to make it work. Okay? I know I'm going kind of fast. I don't want to make this video 2 hours long. All right, x minus 5 is greater than 8. So x minus 5 is greater than 8. X minus 5 is less than negative 8. Plus 5, plus 5. X is greater than 13. Plus 5, plus 5. X is less than negative 3. Okay. X plus 7 greater than 3. X plus 7 greater than negative 3. Minus 7, minus 7. X is less than negative 4. Minus 7, minus 7. X is greater than negative 10. Okay. Moving right along. Number 19. Again, x minus 3/4 is less than or equal to 1/2. X minus 3/4 is greater than or equal to negative 1/2. So add 3/4, add 3/4. you're going to have to multiply this by 2 over 2, so this is going to be 2 fourths. So x is less than or equal to 5 fourths, because 2 plus 3 is 5 over 4. And 4, 3 fourths, and 3 fourths. Same thing, this will go to 2 over 4. So x is greater than or equal to negative 2 plus 3 is 1 over 4. Alright, so there's the two answers for that one. Now 2x minus 5 is greater than or equal to 13. 2x minus 5 is less than or equal to negative 13. And 5, and 5. 2x is greater than or equal to 18. So x is greater than or equal, sorry. So x is greater than or equal to 9, because you're going to divide 2 by both sides. 18 divided by 2 is 9, plus 5, plus 5. 2x is less than or equal to negative, what's that, 8. Divide both sides by 2. So x is greater than 9, and x is less than or equal to negative 4. Okay, moving right along. Graph the following inequalities on the coordinate plane. Alright, so the absolute value of y is greater than or equal to 7. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have to split this up. So y is greater than or equal to 7. Y is, I'm sorry, y is less than or equal to 7. Y is greater than or equal to negative 7. So go to y equals 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, that's way up here. So one of your lines is going to be across here. And the other one is going to be down here. Alright, so y is less than or equal to 7. So that means this is all less than 7. And y is greater than negative 7. And all of this is greater than negative 7. So you'd graph the two lines and shade everything between them. Okay, this is graph number 21. Graph number 22. Y is less than or equal to 4x plus 3. Graph that line. 1, 2, 3. And then up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. And let's go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1. There's our line. Now it says y is less than. Okay, so you're going to shade everything less than. If you can't figure out what's less than, do what I call the origin test. Plug in 0, 0. Okay, so it should be 0 is less than or equal to 4 times 0 is 0, so plus 3. Is 0 less than or equal to 3? Yes, it is. So the origin solves the equation. So you would shade the side that contains the origin. Okay? So 21 would look like this. 22 would look like this. Okay? And remember, since the reason mine are solid lines is because these are greater than, I mean, both of these are less than or equal to. That equal to makes it a solid line. All right? Moving right along. Come on. All right. Y is greater than negative x over 2 minus 6. Now remember, this negative x over 2 can be written as negative 1 half x minus 6. Okay, so it's a slope of negative 1 half, and it goes through negative 6. Here's negative 6. So we're going to go down 1 over 2, or up 1 over 2. So here's our line. All right, and actually, since it's less than, okay, that means we have to dash it. So I'm just going to cheat. Well, I can't do that. Okay, so negative 6, point there, point there. So this is a dashed line. a dashed line because there is no equal to bar, okay, and it is greater than, so again, do the origin test. Okay, so this is 0, it's greater than -6, is 0 greater than -6? Yes, it is, so you shade all of this side. Okay, you shade all of this side, just like that. Alright, that's your graph for 23. Graph for 24 is going to be over here. Now this one, it'll be easiest to just solve it for y. Minus 3x, minus 3x. So, negative 4y is less than or is greater than or equal to negative 3x plus 12. Divide negative 4. Divide all this by negative 4. So y is less than or equal to 3/4 x minus 3. So go down to negative 3. And then it's up 3 over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. It's a positive slope, so it goes up. And it's less than, y is less than this, so it's all of this. Okay, but again, you could do the origin test. You'd have 0 is less than or equal to negative 3, and that's false, so you would not shade the origin. Okay, you would not shade the origin. Alright, 25, and this is the last one. Alright, again, solve it for y. So subtract x from both sides, so 7y is less than x plus 5, negative x plus 5. Divide 7, divide 7. So y is less than negative 1 over 7x plus 5. So you'd go up to 5, which is here. Then you'd go down 1 over 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Up 1 over 7. And now this would be a dashed line because, wow, I can't. Alright, so it would be a dashed line. And then it's y is less than, so again, you can do the origin test. 0 is less than 5. Wait, did I do that right? Again, what? Yeah, I read that wrong. Yes, 0 is less than 5. Okay, so you'd shade the origin. That phone call there kind of threw me off a bit. Alright, so you'd shade all of this. Alright, I think you got the picture now. That's your graph for 25. Alright, so that's your test. You review. Important thing to remember is make sure if there's no equal bar, you make it a dashed line, and make sure you shade the appropriate side of your line. For these and for the inequalities with the absolute value, make sure you do a positive and a negative version. And if it's an inequality, make sure when you do the negative version, you flip the sign. Okay, that's the important part to remember there. All right, well, make sure you're ready when you come to class tomorrow to take this exam. Good luck.